First of all, I show my respect to honorables and hello teachers and everyone. We are from Group 2, and my name is Bunsry Lyvong.
And me, Chhim Sereyrattana.
And my name is Heng Vinaanita.
And my name is Pey Mouychheang.
And my name is Ros Seavlang.
In the past, especially during the Angkor era from 9th to 15th century, gender roles were clearly defined and deeply influenced by religion, tradition, and social hierarchy. Khmer society was largely patriarchal. Men held authority in politics, religion, and the military, including roles as kings, officials, priests, and warriors. However, women also played important roles, mainly in domestic life, agriculture, and religious ceremonies. They managed households, raised children, engaged in farming and trade, and participated in temple rituals. Some women held respected positions as royal consorts or attendants, as seen in temple carvings and inscriptions. In ancient Khmer stories, women are shown not just as caretakers, but also as strong, smart, and loyal. Certain Khmer women followed their husbands to war, showing loyalty, bravery, and deep devotion. And from this field trip, this teaches me that society depends on both men and women working together, and that everyone's role is important, even if it looks different.
In this point, I will talking about the war in the past in the Angkor era. In the warfare during the era when the Angkor Wat Empire fought against the Cham people, we observed that military units were organized in orderly formations. Among them, Chinese troops also participated. The soldiers fought mounted on horses or elephants. In addition, we see that traditional musical ensembles called vung playing were used during battles. We notice that most of wearers were male. If we take another look at this picture, we see a woman accompanying her husband to war. What is especially significant is that she is carrying a child on one side and holding a shawl in the other hand. According to Professor Yusupanya, he told the shield to protect herself from enemies attempting to violate or assault her. We move on to the last war of Khmer and Cham. According to Professor Yusupanya, the war between the Chams and the Khmers lasted until the year 1181, which marked the final Khmer offensive against the Chams. During this campaign, the Khmers launched a powerful attack and decisively defeated the Chams. Referring to Prasad Prakan, it is said to be the place where the Khmer army killed all the remaining Chams. In front of the temple, there is a point known as Bangchiam, or the Lake of Blood. Move on to business. Regarding trade, we observe that business was conducted with the Chinese, involving both imports and exports. Most of our export consisted of rice, as Cambodia is an agricultural country. On the walls of the temple, we can see the depictions of Chinese people trading with the Khmer in the marketplace. As for imports, there were goods such as traditional medicines from China, umbrellas, and various other items. After visiting and studying a various temple, I have gained a deeper understanding of his story, especially regarding the role of women and men in the past. Moreover, I observed that the empowerment of women has existed since ancient times, and the protection of women has also been in place for a long time too. All this knowledge has helped me clearly understand women's rights, that women are just as capable as men, and furthermore, in the present day, women are actively in the national development, and she can do everything like as a man. Thank you.
So moving on to another topic, we will talk about the education that was shown at Prasat Prakhan, or also known as Prasat Chai Srei. This temple isn't just a religious site, but it is also worked like a university during the time of King Jayavarman VII. Our tour guide, Professor Yusupanya, told us that Queen Indra Devi played a big role in education here. She was a respected teacher and supported learning, especially for women in the royal court. She made sure that girls also had chance to learn too. And that time, boys usually started with monks. And that really showed how Khmer society saw the value of education for both men and women. Prakhan was home to about 1,000 monks, scholars, apsaras, or female dancers who passed on culture through their dance performance during the ceremony. This temple also had the library with sacred texts and hall for dance performance, which today we can still see how beautiful the Apsara carving that is still having there. It was truly a lively place where learning came from the books, dance, and community. Prakhan show how deeply connected between education, cultures, and gender role that was in the ancient.
After joining this gender study trip, I learned that education in old Khmer ancient time was inclusive and creative more than I expected. Like both boy and girl had chance to have the education, and even though they are learned in different way, but usually boy learn from the religious leader, and while girl usually learn from the respected female figure in society. And I also realized that learning didn't only come from the books, because traditional Apsara dancers share cultures and values through their dance perform, like showing the art also was a form of education. So people learn through daily life, storytelling, and performance, which is so that it isn't just learned in the formal classroom. In the past, both men and women played important role in education. This trip helped me to understand that education was shared responsibility and deeply connected to culture. It made me appreciate and learning. It made me appreciate how learning used to be part of daily life, and this trip had opened my eyes to the value of traditional education and the important role both gender play in shaping knowledge in culture in Khmer society.
A long time ago, more people in Cambodia follow Hinduism, and then King Jayavarman VII became king. He and his wife Indra Devi believed in Buddhism, so he made Buddhism become the main religion and built many Buddhist temples, like Prasat Prakhan. Some people who follow Hinduism were upset because their religion was no longer the most important. After King Jayavarman VII died, King Jayavarman VIII became king. His wife was the daughter of a Brahmin, and she asked him to make the Hinduism become the main religion again. This change made followers of two religions argue and fight for control. Many Hindu followers destroy Buddhist statues and carving to remove signs of Buddhism. Today, you can still see the damage at the temple like Prasat Prakhan. It shows the conflict between the two religions and how it was also about power, not just belief. Near the entrance gate to get in Prasat Prakhan temple, you can see one statue is about growth and snake. This story was written under the influence of Hinduism. A long time ago, two sisters shared the same husband. The older sister wasn't pretty, but she was perfect. The younger sister was pretty, but she not perfect. They argued over who would keep the husband. The younger tricked her older sister and won. The older sister didn't want to leave, so she promised to bring the umbrella water as a gift. She also wished for a strong son to help her. Later, she gave birth to Krut, who is a half human and half eagle. Her younger sister gave birth to many snakes. Krut wanted to help his mother and tried to get the umbrella water, which was guarded by Vishnu. He couldn't win against Vishnu, but Vishnu made Krot eat his vehicle and give him Amrit water. Then Vishnu told Krot to kill all the snakes that born from his aunt. So this story shows us about the gender perspective, such as for men, they can have as many wives as they want. And another one is that people are really grateful and respect to women, especially sons to their mother. My name is Ros Seavlang. After come back from the trip, from my perspective, I feel connected to history, seeing how men and women had different roles like builder, dancer, soldier, and doctor helped me to understand how each person was shaped in ancient Khmer life with meaning and purpose.
Now let's move on to Linga in Prasat Prakhan. Our tour guide said that according to the late professor, Pekau, he used to say that this could be either for Hindu worship or for the Buddhists. The Buddhists consist of Lokeswara, the Bodhisattvas of compassion, Pachasaguru, the medicine Buddha, and Prajnapamarita, the personification of wisdom. In fact, Prajnapamarita is actually the only female gods. Because of these three combinations, water could have been poured for the ritual there as well. If it was from the Hindu period, it was likely for the Hindu gods. If it was from the Buddhist period, they could have placed the Buddhist trait here, and the water would drain towards the north. This linga in the video is called Sevya linga, but it doesn't just represent Preah Sevya alone. In Hinduism, sometimes they construct a single linga to represent three supreme. So you see, the round pillar at the top represents Preah Sevya. In the middle section, you can see it contains 8 sides. It's octagonal. These 8 sides represent Preah Vishnu, who has 8 arms. If you look at the bottom section of the video, it's a square with 4 sides. This part represents Preah Prom. How many faces does Preah Prom have? 4 faces. So if these objects represent Hinduism, and it's called Trimurti. The Trimurti is Preah Prom, Preah Vishnu, and Preah Sevya. From my gender perspective, as I listen and learn during this trip, I've noticed that in our history, this temple was mainly focused on being worshipped in both Hinduism and Buddhism. But somehow, they only focus on males gods, such as Preah Vishnu, Preah Prom, and Preah Sevya, those 3. But, as I mentioned earlier, the only female gods that I've mentioned was Pachapamarita. She was the only female god that being worshipped, but not towards leadership, it's toward wisdom. Why all of this is important? It's because, first, it's a female and males against each other. Why? Both Buddhist and Hindu worship are all males, leaving out female almost entirely. And the second, stone showed power. The linga showed power. It shows who had more power and respect are all males. So that is it for my gender perspective. As a student and as a female, I've learned really a lot from this, and I would like to say thank you everyone for listening to this video and watching from the beginning to the end. Thank you for paying attention, and I would like to give an applause to our team member that share every knowledge during this trip, and thank you everyone for listening. Bye bye.